Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and thank you all for attending our After Dark show. Tonight, we are joined by our wonderful guest, Rebecca Chernek, the so-called F&I queen. Thanks for joining us.
It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you again for the invite, and nice to meet you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, thank you, Becky. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Katrina and Vanessa. Boy, Becky, it's been a wild ride these last couple of years. A whole lot going on in our business, especially in fixed and in F&I.
Yes, that certainly is the case. It is amazing how many things are going on, how many changes that are happening in our industry left and right. And man, let me tell you something, if you don't have your foot on that pedal and really focused on what's going on, whether it be in fixed ops or whether it be in F&I got to tell you, you're going to miss the boat. You're absolutely going to miss the boat. But it has been some amazing changes over I'd say in the last 5 years, Ted.
Yeah. So I want to share some of the moments that we've had together in this industry, Becky. Becky has been instrumental in the Fixed Ops Roundtable in more ways than everyone may realize. And we're coming up on 5 years anniversary, and we got a lot of stuff to share with everybody today, and a lot of folks coming in. And Michael Weldon, love what you do over there at Hansel, and going to see you on Friday for a big panel, Michael. So thanks for all you do. And Becky, there was also an F&I roundtable that you've started, and I have a feeling somewhere down the line it's probably coming back. So
I don't know, but I definitely really enjoyed working that F&I roundtable with you, Ted. It was exciting. In fact, the first F&I roundtable, I'm thinking nobody's going to show up. But I'll tell you right now, it was packed. It was absolutely packed. It was fantastic. And everyone wanted to be a part of this F&I director as well. It was an F&I roundtable with Ted Ings and myself. And I tell you right now, it was packed. We had some great attendance, and we had some great best practices going on as it pertained to what's taking place in F&I today. And that's really, I think more and more dealers and even the F&I people, they want to know, what can I do to make a bigger impact in my job and career.
Amy Shelton, do you know this person, Becky? I think you do.
I sure do, Miss Amy Shelton. How are you? Good to see you. I'm so glad, Amy, you've been able to come on tonight. Amy Shelton's always followed me. She's great. And Tony Owens, always great. You're awesome. And look at who it is.
Look who it is. Steve Apicella. Happy New Year, Steve.
Great to see
the dynamic duo together again. That's not that far off, Steve. That's actually pretty close. So
yeah, I wanted to take Stephen Apicella with me when we went and we launched kicked off your first Fixed Ops Roundtable in New York, Ted. I tell you, I'm thinking, Steve, this is the ticket. This is what's going to make a big difference for auto dealers throughout the country. And I couldn't bring Steve with me, but I brought me.
Well,
to talk about it.
Not long thereafter, you brought Steve. Okay.
I did bring Steve after that. I mean, but I got to tell you, he's phenomenal, and always very much appreciate him and love Tony Owens. This guy, he works his heart off. I mean, at his store and in service, and is always there for me like that.
Yeah, Dan Stockel, good evening. By the way, Northwood ladies, I don't know if you know that Dan Stockel is doing some, I believe he's Dan, you correct me if I'm wrong, adjunct professor at Northwood, and he's doing some classes there. So Dan is very much involved, and he'll correct me if I got any of that terminology wrong. But we're on break now anyway, Dan, so it doesn't, who cares? No.
That's awesome.
But he's a great friend of the industry. So a lot going on. Vanessa, I know you've been doing some promos today. with Katrina. Thank you both for doing that because our big event is coming up, Vanessa. It's just like a couple weeks away now. Give us the down low on that.
Yep, it is happening at the end of this month and into February, January 29th through February 1st. You can get your complimentary tickets right now at fixedopsroundtable.com. So make sure to visit our website to secure your complimentary tickets. And dress for the theme. It is the Knights of the Roundtable event. So put on your favorite medieval Renaissance outfits and enjoy the 4-day virtual event with us.
We had some people dressed up today on the panels. Cora Lee had a great castle background, Rebecca, the other night when she was recording. So looking forward to that. And Becky, can you believe 5 years for the Fixed Ops Roundtable?
I know. I really can't believe it's been that fast. I mean, time just goes by so darn quickly. But I am so glad that you listened to me finally.
I finally listened to you. So give us the story. You finally convinced me to use that conference room, the boardroom in my office in New York. You got there, I believe, late the night before we met for breakfast.
Yes,
we took a
we
taxi over, after we had breakfast.
Mhm.
And we realized quickly that we wouldn't have enough coffee for all the people coming. So tell us the story on that, because I see the coffee there just to the left of your shoe.
Well, yes. And so we ended up having these coffee runs. It's like a block down the road from his office building. And I got to tell you, I got these shoes on. And
She's got high heel shoes on there. Yeah.
They're not like stilettos. I mean, some are higher, right, girls? But it was still tough walking in those shoes. I'm like, okay, Ted, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go get your coffee. Let's make coffee happen. And we went down twice. He's like, okay, we don't have enough coffee, Becky. Hey, we're going to go again.
Up 26 floors, up the elevator, down. And Becky realized that when you come to New York, you got to wear sneakers when you're down on the street. And then you put your shoes on when you get up to the offices inside. And there was Marco with us, Becky, as well.
And Marco, he's freaking great. So we made it to the top. We made it to New York. And so I do want to talk a little bit about this because, Ted was, first of all, he wasn't sure about kicking this off. And I'm like, Ted, there's no reason why you shouldn't kick this off. This is New York. This is your office. This is absolutely the best place to kick off your first Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm all in. So as I told Ted, anyway, so I had someone else contact me about going to Las Vegas to the Agent Summit. And they were like, I'm like, I can't go because I'm going to go to Ted Inc.'s Fixed Ops Roundtable in New York. Well, New York's kind of exciting, Becky, but we've got this Agent Summit and so it's like, why would you not want to go in Vegas? Why would you want to go to this Fixed Ops in New York? Yeah. And I said, because I need to definitely be there. That's where F&I needs to be. We need to be in the heart of this whole thing with Fixed Ops, right? We need to bridge the gap between what's going on in F&I and what's happening in that Fixed Ops. It's like we deserve a partnership, right, Ted?
Look how small that boardroom is. And do you guys recognize who's standing up there at the end in front of the TV? That's Caesar Augustus. You met him a couple weeks ago.
And yeah. He's a great guy, isn't he? He is super cool. He came to Atlanta. Thank you, Caesar, for taking me out to lunch. We went to P.F. Chang's. What a good person. Look at that talk. What do you think I'm thinking?
She's thinking, what am I doing here?
What am I doing here? There is some really, amazing best practices. We had a blast there. I got to tell you, we had a super great time.
So the gentleman on the right, the gentleman on the left is Jay Gunnin, from Wrenchway.
That's right.
Who, by the way, all these people went on to be, great success. Henrik Janier on the right of Becky there, he flew in from Finland. And he came across the Atlantic to be at the roundtable. And he came a couple times. He came to Los Angeles as well. And he was one of the early founders of the roundtable. And there's David Foy and there's Marco, a tiny little conference room, Becky. And like you said, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up. But I thought the magic, Becky, was, in this picture right here, there you are putting up your phone in 2019, and you're taking either a photo or a video of somebody who's speaking, and look on the wall, everybody. You see these big flip chart pieces of paper. Everybody had written down a best practice or two that they had to present to the group. And so everybody's job was to speak and present that best practice. And as they did, people started following Becky's lead and putting up their phones and broadcasting this live on Facebook. Okay. And then, of course, later the recorded versions on LinkedIn and so on. But the next thing you know, somebody told me at lunchtime, hey, we're trending on LinkedIn right now. And we were.
Wow.
Told you. I told you so. So here's the thing. I said, I'm the instigator, but here again, I also said to him, he needs, hey there, Katie, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. I know, right? I used to do all these podcasts all the time on a lot of the F&I insights and what's going on. Never know. I might come back a couple times. This gets like addictive. So it's like, I got to come back. Yay. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate you. We'll have to certainly touch base soon. Oh yeah. Tony's coming into town and doing dinner with me. Did I tell you guys?
No, you don't tell me anything anymore.
Don't get jealous. Hey, Tony, I can't wait to do that.
Yep. And
Robert, good evening. Come back.
Yeah,
He wants me to come back.
Everybody wants you to come back, Becky.
They miss me, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So, Katrina, you went down to Atlanta sometime last year, and you were on the CBT News show with Jim Fitzpatrick, and I believe they asked you to help anchor that. Well, Becky has spent maybe 2-3 years on that CBT News, putting together an F&I show, and has spent a lot of time and invited me down with my daughter Jean and put us on the show, and we were there as well.
Wow,
I think you have a picture of Jean. Yeah.
I don't have it uploaded here,
Oh,
but
okay.
but yeah, it's a cute picture. She was young.
It
then.
really is. She's much younger. She'd probably shoot you.
Probably, yeah.
But it was a great picture, and it was a great time with Ted Ings. I mean, Ted is always different. He's always doing something different. It's got to be costume. It's got to be something kind of far-fetched, right? So he comes onto the show and he's like, stand up, Becky. I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Stand up. We're going to do an exercise here. And I'm like, we are?
Awesome.
And so I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this exercise. He goes, I'm going to show you something. And that's where Ted is. It's so interesting because he's always coming up with some of these wild ideas that actually work. But at the time, you don't think it's going to work.
No.
Sorry, Ted.
That's okay. That's good.
It's okay. Just tell on me.
So Becky, what are you doing now? You're heading up a big retail group in the Southeast.
Yeah, I'm working with the Phil Smith Automotive Group, and they're great, terrific. Look at this wood play. Becky's showing my F&I class. Okay, let's do it. Thank you, Ted. All right. And
Becky, you know LG, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Hey, so what?
That's no. I didn't know if you
What
know.
happens if I don't?
Nothing.
Get me in trouble again, Ted. Can't take him anywhere. Ted is doing great things to fix. Oh my God, Ted is doing amazing things with fixed ops. He is the fixed ops guru. Okay, ladies, I don't know what to call him. Should we call him Batman or Mr. Hollywood?
Oh God, no, neither one.
I know. It's a good one. It's a toss-up.
Right.
I like Mr. Hollywood.
I was thinking Mr. Hollywood as well.
And then I also like Batman.
Sean Kingery got me the ring, the Godfather ring. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Did you see that?
Right.
Yeah.
You could be Godfather.
You can't forget that, right?
Oh no, we can't forget.
And
Godfather.
Tony Owens has a nickname for everybody, and this is my nickname, the Authority. So
That's awesome.
You know what? That's a good one too. Of
Right,
all things, Yes, that's a good one.
Godfather.
That's a good father of all things fixed. See, somebody comes up with a big name for you all the time. I come up with Batman. I came up with Hollywood. They come up with Godfather. And now you got the Knights. What a great, to tell you, what a great event.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun. In
Yes.
fact, this one has come on very, very strong. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on for this event,
Mhm.
and we'll share some of that with the audience. But you'll see a lot of the promos that are going to be rolling out. But there's some very special things. We just announced this one right here. Sticks Brown, good evening. Tully Williams and Skylar are going to be introducing the Cox Automotive Service Industry Survey. It's just out. You're going to see it at the Fixed Ops Roundtable coming up in just a couple weeks. And
Cool.
Rebecca, I know you know Tully pretty well.
I do. Tully Williams I really love him. He really cares. He just has a heart of gold, and he'll do anything. He really can. He would anything he can to support you. He's good people, and he knows his stuff. So don't mess with him.
All right. The Northwood ladies have a couple questions to ask you tonight about
thing.
F&I and the state of the industry. So I'm going to turn it over to them and
Be happy
let them
to
take
help.
it from here.
Very good.
So, first question. So, is our industry going to face some headwinds in 2024? And if so, what are they?
I think it's about growing up again. It's about realizing that the party's over to some extent, right? And that we got to get back to basics. We got to get back to the real world, and so we are experiencing some pains when it comes to or maybe a hangover or two, and saying, okay, I really have to get back to the normal world. And we have to get back to basics. We have to have education. We have to have processes that we can be, and holding people accountable to those processes and to impact our performance. But it's definitely, we are. It's not going to be easy, and that's okay. We've experienced it in the past, and we've been very successful. And let me say this: dealers are very resilient, right? But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because we want it to. Change isn't going to happen because we want it to, or we want to experience a higher performance. The reality of it is we have to get back to basics, and we have to have the education. Yes. We have to have accountability, and we have to have a process, and we have to stick to it.
That's great.
Totally. So earlier we have Ted Ings, Fixed Ops, and then of course you, Becky, with F&I. So how are these tied together? How are Fixed Ops and F&I tied together?
It's everything. And so, we talk about the circle of life. I talk about my circle of life in the dealership, and we're all dependent on each other. So the relationship, and when I went to Ted Ings and I talked, and I realized what he was bringing to the table for the industry, I realized I really wanted to be a part of that, because in my F&I world, we need to bridge the gap between the service and F&I, because that's important. It is, we want to be able to offer the products that retain customer business in service. And that retention is key to keeping customers coming back. And let's face it, when a customer comes back time and time again, that's good business. Repeat business is the best business. Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. So I absolutely agree. Let's go ahead. Let's bridge the gap between from sales to finance, from finance into service. And there's Stephen Apicella. He and I definitely agree on that.
You do.
It is all about transparency and the ultimate customer experience, because when the customer is happy, they're coming back. When that customer leaves that F&I office, we want to make sure the customer has a complete customers. They enjoy the entire buying experience.
Yes.
And that they want to come back and time again to be back in our service department, to take advantage of the maintenance that they purchased at time of sale in F&I. And this is really important to keep that experience positive from F&I into service, back from service into sales. And so, like I said, it's that big circle of life that we're talking about.
And speaking of customer service, what do you think are the top 2 or 3 things a service advisor must do to deliver a great customer experience?
I think they need to be knowledgeable. They
Absolutely.
need to, right? They need to have their act together. They need to be knowledgeable. They need to know. They need to understand the products that are being offered to our customers 100% of the time, all the time, and be able to relate to that customer in a user-friendly way and customer-friendly way. One of the things that that compelled me to Steve Apicella is, and he and I are both on the same page when it comes to that experience when we sell a particular product in F&I, and when the customer comes into service for some reason or another, well, because maybe the service manager can't see the policy that was actually sold, and then tells the customer that they don't have coverage, and they don't do maybe a deeper dive into making sure that the customer does have have that particular product to cover the issue. That's extremely frustrating for our customers. So we need to tie the knot there. We need to do a better job with that.
No.
And educator service managers and making sure, okay, if in the event the customer says this should have been covered, let's do some due diligence here and find out maybe that a product had been sold.
Yeah.
And make sure that we can do what we need to do to cover that component. And CSI is everything.
Yeah. So similarly, what are some strategies that dealers can implement to drive repeat and referral business?
Dealers can do to drive repeat and referral business is number one, treat the customer the way that you want to be treated. Jason, thank you so much. Extremely knowledgeable in her field. Thank you so much. Yay!
Happy New Year, Jason.
Yay, Jason. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Jason was at the first roundtable.
Yes.
Yes, he was. Yes.
He was 2. He went to maybe the 3rd one.
That's right. He didn't go to LA. He went to the third one, first one in New York, and the third one in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay, New Jersey. That's right. I remember what you did for Christine Farnan.
Oh, with the birthday cake.
Yes. We talked about that the other day. She's going to call you again and thank you again for that birthday cake. I said, do you remember when Ted Ings went ahead and got you that birthday cake? And she's like, I know, it was so cool. I have to thank him for that. Okay.
Very good time.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, we got off.
No, we saw Jason, right? So I mean,
yeah, we got Jason on here. Whoa, okay, great. Yeah, but I think that look, we got to just do a better job in taking care of our customers. Let's have some fun. Let's be knowledgeable about what we're doing, what we're talking about. And, at the end of the day, when that happens, customers are coming back for more. They just want to be treated like a freaking, as a human being. They want to, people love to buy from people that they what?
Like
that
and
they
trust.
like.
Yep. Yeah.
What'd you say, Ted?
Like and trust.
And trust. More credible. Let's be more credible, right? Let's educate. Let's go to Northwood University. Let's get our act together. People love that.
Yeah.
And that's how you bring them back. That's how you bring them back time and time again. It is not like it's the secret sauce, right? It's the secret sauce of sales. It's the 101. It's basics 101. Sorry, not 101.
I will never forget the first time, because Becky used to always go live, and she got me to go live, and she had come out to Los Angeles because we had a film series called The Tip of the Day, right, Rebecca? And there were like 500 of these video tips of the day. So she came out, and it was the afternoon before, and we were at we were in Beverly Hills, and we went to the Waldorf Astoria, the highest building, new building in Beverly Hills. Remember that? and they had a big, restaurant and a lounge at the top. It was
yeah.
beautiful outside. It was March of 2019. It was warm in Southern California. And you and I went live. I went live for the first time with you.
You know what? I forgot about that, but that's true. He
Yeah.
actually did. And you know what? He wasn't drinking at all. He did it. He did it cold turkey. I was the one who had a drink. Just telling the truth. But it was beautiful there. It was really, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed that trip. That was such a great trip for me. Yeah, that was another wonderful trip. It was so much fun with you. And he's
You're
freaking
welcome.
crazy. So he gets everybody, and then we had to go to his studio. And we're dressing up in these costumes. But all cool. I mean, he's got a costume for every minute, for every moment, for every occasion. He's the most incredible person. One of the most incredible people I know.
Well, the reason we did costumes, everybody, because we filmed like 25 videos that day, right? And I had a co-host at the time, remember Jen Anthony, right?
Yeah.
She was an actress in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and we filmed all these videos. And there were videos. I mean, there was video, Becky, of you and I think we were dancing in one video. There was a
We
video
were dancing. We had telephones. We had
of the telephones. Yeah.
what else did we had? Oh my gosh, you had all sorts of stuff. You had dress. I mean, just amazing things. I mean,
You and I were in a boxing match. Okay.
oh,
remember the
that's right.
red
the
gloves with the
boxers.
robes and the whole thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
we had
And
all
you had
kinds
the
of-
king hat on. That's right.
I had the king hat. I think I showed them the king hat. I think I saw that picture.
He said, so I asked him, I said, what are you going to do with all this? I'm just going to pitch it. Like, what are you talking about? I'll take the phone. Oh, yeah, that's him.
Christine, good
That
evening.
was beautiful. That was a great trip.
It's a good trip.
And what was the restaurant that you took me to? That restaurant was amazing. Some sort of an Asian, that would be your place you would go all the time.
Oh yeah. So I have a affinity for Thai food, and I used to live in Los Angeles, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there's an amazing Thai restaurant on Venice Boulevard in Culver City, a suburb of Los Angeles, and it's right by the Sony studios where all the actors would come during lunch, and they got the pictures on the wall of all these famous people who would come in there. And my friend owns the restaurant, and so Becky and I went, I think from the airport, we went to that restaurant and had lunch there. And I showed you that not only they have all the pictures on the wall, but they had the pictures of when I lived there. Okay. And when my daughter was born, right. I had sent them the pictures, and they kept them on the wall all these years. So. Yeah.
Really, really, really cool. It was great. It was very
Awesome.
special. Christine Farnan's on.
I know. I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Hey, Christine. I was just telling Ted that you said you were going to call him about the cake, your birthday cake. So anyway, I gave it up. I told him anyway. You told me to keep it a secret, but I'm not. Anyway, it's me. I never keep secrets. No, I do.
Right.
But here's one thing I will ask for everyone here at Northwood University, anyone else who's in here with us. Look, Phil Smith Automotive Group, they're terrific. They're a terrific group. They really are. And, we're always looking for talented folks. And whether it be in sales, whether it be in finance, whether it be in service. So just guys, if you remember this, feel free to give me, a call, even send me a DM. Feel free to go ahead and DM Ted too, but be happy to take a look at your application, see what we can do to go ahead and have you come work with us with a great team. Love to hear from you. That'd be great. Thank you, Ted. Thanks.
I saw all your posts over the last couple of weeks on social media that Phil Smith is hiring. So I'm sure you've had a lot of people reach out, but everybody, Becky Chernek, great organization with Phil Smith in the Southeast, and reach out to Becky. They've got a number of positions, and that group is growing. That's why they have positions. So, and Becky if I can say, Becky oversees all the F&I for all the stores in the entire group. So
Wow.
she covers a lot of ground from North Carolina to, I go, where are you today? She goes, I'm in Florida today. She's flying around everywhere. So.
Well, yeah. So we take care of some of the Florida stores and the North Carolina stores, but it keeps me busy on my toes. That's for darn sure.
All right.
That's
So
awesome.
big Fixed Ops Roundtable coming up, less than 3 weeks, everybody. Got a lot of big panels, a lot of expert panels on there. Becky, you know Sarah Van Tyne, right? You've met her.
Of course, who wouldn't know Miss Sarah? She is one
Miss Sarah was here today,
lady Sarah. Yeah.
and she was on a couple panels, and she's doing a panel with Steve Greenfield on the
Mhm.
future of automotive retail based on his book and what he sees in his crystal ball for 2024. It's fascinating. So you're not going to want to miss that, everybody. You'll see a lot of promos coming out for that as well over the next few weeks. And of course, the big event is coming up on the 29th of January through the 1st. And the event is filling up really fast. And there's, Becky, I always get worried, do we have enough content for 4 days? And like we're packed. This thing is, bursting at the seams right now. So.
Well, you did, yeah, and you're doing a terrific job. Maybe one day we'll do an F&I roundtable again.
Yeah. Look forward to it. Yeah.
He's like, I don't have time for that, Becky. I don't know. I might be able to go ahead and get your Northwood University ladies to go ahead and convince you. Go ahead and do it with her, Ted.
Yes.
Right? Right? Come on, guys. We can do
We
this.
got you.
He's sweating it. I can feel it. It's like, Becky, I can't believe you did this.
Yeah, because she got me to dress up as Batman and did all these other things. So
Yes,
she,
you did.
Yeah, so.
It's incredible.
All right.
We've had a lot of fun over the years, guys, and you couldn't be with a better man than Ted Ings, and it's certainly a pleasure. Thank you so much, Ted, for inviting me to help celebrate. I'm sure you'll have many more.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot more.
Yeah, celebrating at your anniversary, as you well deserve it. And I'm glad I was able to go ahead and kick this off again.
Yeah.
And terrific job.
And we might have something coming up in New York this spring, so I'm going to invite you to that. And
you're going to invite me? I can go to that. Wait till we go to New York.
Yeah, I know.
Are you sure you want to invite me, Ted? Never know what I might say.
I know. Or do.
Well, I don't know. I won't. I'll behave. Maybe.
Right. Everybody, so we are going to be back on Monday night of next week with another show, and we love you too, Tony Owens. And the big event, if you haven't got your tickets yet, again, fixedopsroundtable.com, and we'll see you all there. And on behalf of the Northwood ladies and Rebecca Chernek, thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And we'll see you next Monday.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.